Hello everyone. I'm meeting you here in my home and looking into a phone instead of our beautiful community. It's definitely new and out of my box, but we are living in strange times, so better to find a way to practice together and connect rather than not. I wanted to start these classes that we're doing away from the studio to incorporate and weave through some teachings of yoga, the Yoga Sutras. Some of you are probably familiar with them, maybe some of you are not, but it's really one of the most classical and authoritative texts we could say on yoga. Yoga really as transformation of the mind rather than the body. So really doesn't focus on asana as much as that journey within to the place inside where it is always peaceful. And so with that in mind, we will practice together and we will move our bodies and we will breathe, but really as a reminder to settle into the stillness within, to use our practice right now when we need it most. We could say that this is what we have been practicing for all this time, all these years. This is our opportunity to embody these practices and to live them every day, whether we come to our yoga mats or not. So settle in, seated, reclined, standing, it doesn't matter, but just let your body sink in where you feel the earth beneath you. Kind of breathe into that connection. And we can close our eyes and bring the gaze, the awareness within, and we notice where we are, what that internal world sounds like, feels like right now. See if you can find your breath, feel the breath, listen to the breath, feel it moving through the body. And maybe find a counted breath if your mind is busy, counting up from 1 as you inhale, maybe up to 4 as you exhale. Perhaps you can extend the breath, maybe counting down, maybe a little longer. Inhaling big, deep breaths, filling the body with the breath, and as you exhale, extending that breath, extending the exhalation to find a little release, a little more letting go, a little softening in the places that we're holding. And often when we quiet, when we take this time to be still, we notice the places that we're holding a little more. So just breathe into those places. Observe them, feel them with a softness, with a gentleness, to be more loving in those places that we need it. Feel the body breathing to the very outer edges. And then we're just going to find some organic movement here. So we might begin to move our shoulders side to side. Big circles or small circles. Really notice what's there. And let the neck move as well. And maybe if we tend to hold tensions in the face, move the eyebrows up and down, maybe open the mouth wide, maybe stick the tongue out, right? We can make funny faces now as no one's watching. I would say you can make them even when people are watching, but we get to practice that now. And then let this become a bigger, wider movement. So from the base of the spine, begin to draw some circles and allow the spine to move. So drawing the heart forward as you inhale and finding a little rounding as we exhale. So these can be big and wide or smaller, whatever feels good for the body. And then find a moment where we draw those circles the opposite direction. Really letting ourselves move from the inside out. Right? So when we do that, we really get to listen to our bodies, feel it into our bodies. And then let's come back to center. And just a couple big shoulder rolls here. Moving slowly to really invite the tension to release. And then opposite direction. And then take an inhalation slowly, stretching out through the fingertips, bringing the palms together overhead if that's comfortable. And as you exhale, just let yourself side bend. Press the palm away, soften the shoulders, maybe even bend the elbow. And breathe into the side. Let an inhalation bring you back up to center, stretching fingers upward. And exhale, taking that the opposite direction. Softening the shoulders where you can. Noticing the neck and keeping it as neutral as possible. Let an inhalation bring you back to center, and we're going to open our mouth and let it go with a big exhalation, dropping the arms. Releasing completely. Let's stretch the legs out. Notice if your legs are crossed, which leg is in front. Shake out the legs, rock a little bit from side to side. Bring the arms out with the shoulders relaxed, and just scrunch the toes and make fists, and release a couple of times. And then slowly circling. Right, just giving some love to our joints. Hopefully we're managing to get some exercise outside still. Not all of us may have easy access. Let's circle the other way, but we still want to move our bodies. In fact, we probably want to find ways to move our bodies even more now. And then let's cross our legs in the opposite direction. And as we inhale, stretching up, bringing the arms overhead, stretching the fingers forward. And we're just going to exhale and take a little twist to the right, dropping our arms. Let the right arm come behind. Left palm can be between the knees. Draw that right shoulder back, feeling a stretch in the upper chest. And if you like, bring the gaze and the head towards the back hand. Even using the eyes, strongly looking out of the right-hand corner of both of the eyeballs. And as you inhale next, moving slowly back through center, reaching. We'll exhale, taking our twist in the opposite direction, drawing that left shoulder back, and maybe bringing the gaze to meet it out of the left-hand corner of both of the eyes. On an inhalation, slowly coming back to center, reaching, and once more opening the mouth, letting it all go. We're going to slowly bake our way up to standing. Coming into standing in whatever way feels good for your body today. And then let's open our feet, maybe as wide as the narrow length of the mat. And then just start swinging the arms. This is a wonderful thing to do to wake up in the mornings. I call this dancing bear, or we could say empty coat sleeves. And you can bring momentum into this and bring it. That feels good. But it really gets everything moving in the body. And then we'll bring that momentum back down. And you can toe heel your feet, so your feet are about hip distance of space apart. And just kind of rock around on the feet a little bit, right? Maybe even find circles here. So really good to find our feet right now, maybe now more than ever. So coming back to center, scrunch the toes and create space like you're trying to lift the mat with your toes, and then release and lift and spread the toes a couple of times. And then lifting the toes, release them, and imagine you're literally lifting the arches of your feet. From here, we're going to inhale and stretch up. Reach the fingers up and gaze at the space between your palms. As you exhale, turn the palms, bend the elbows, and let your heart lift as though a little thread lifted your heart right to the sky. On your inhalation, reaching, and with your own breath as you exhale, we're going to forward fold. Open your arms wide, or you can bring your palms together through the heart space, reaching for the earth, keeping our knees soft. On your inhalation, press into the feet, straightening the legs and finding a halfway lift, palms maybe under the knees. And maybe your knees stay soft if that's more comfortable. On your exhalation, draw the navel inward and fold, bow to yourself. Let your breath, your inhalation bring you all the way up to standing, pressing into your feet, rooting to rise, reaching. And we'll exhale. Bend the elbows, let the heart lift. Moving always to the rhythm of your own breath. An inhalation, we reach up, and we'll exhale, and we'll fold again. Let your body direct you. Inhaling that halfway lift. Shoulders on the back, heart expands. Exhale, draw the navel in, round, bow to yourself. And let your next inhalation bring you up to standing. Arms expanding out to the sides, or they can move up the legs if that's more comfortable. We'll do that once more. Exhale, we open the heart. Inhale, we'll reach. Exhale, we'll fold. Following always our own breath, pressing into the feet, inhaling to a halfway lift. We're pressing the crown forward. Exhale, we fold. Rooting through the feet, inhaling all the way up. We'll exhale and open the heart. We'll inhale and reach. Pressing into the feet, reaching through the fingertips. We're going to exhale and take a side bend to the right. We can hold our left wrist. We can release the arm and find that beautiful crescent moon shape. Pressing into the feet, breathing into the side bodies, both sides. Let your next breath bring you up through center. And we'll exhale, take that side bend the other way. Feeling ourselves expanding and drawing breath into those expanded places. As you inhale, coming back up. And we'll exhale, bend at the elbows, lift the heart. On your inhalation, reaching. As you exhale, we'll fold. Arms open or palms together through the heart space, reaching for the earth. Inhale that halfway lift. Exhale, bowing to ourselves, folding, pressing through the feet. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, opening of the heart. As we inhale, reach. And as we exhale, we're going to do a standing twist to the right. Let the arms open. You can gaze at your backhand if that's comfortable. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe soften the elbows and then stretch out through the fingers, gazing to the backhand if it's comfortable. And let your next inhalation bring you through center. We'll exhale, open up. Opposite way, gazing to the backhand, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Press that energy out the fingers. We'll inhale and come all the way back to center. Exhale with our own breath, opening our heart space. Inhale and reach. We'll exhale and fold, reaching to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bowing and folding to ourselves. Inhale, press through the feet, coming all the way back up. We'll exhale and open. Inhale and reach, and we're going to exhale, palms at our heart space. So those little movements are wonderful ways to warm the body. If we have a few minutes in the morning or any time in the day we can carve, we can just do those wonderful movements and warm our spine and energize our body, and that would be enough. We'll do a little bit more today for grounding. So on an inhalation, we'll open up, we'll take a big step with our right leg, let the right toes face forward. Let's bring our hands to our hips, and you might want to adjust your stance. What we want to do is be able to bend and open this right hip and bend the knee, and the knee not to go past the toes. So you might need to adjust your stance a little and bring your back foot not quite parallel to the mat, but just in about 20 or 30 degrees. So let's just kind of find it first. Inhale, we'll straighten that right leg. Exhale, feel the hip open and feel the knee move to the little toe side of the foot. So just kind of find it a little with your breath, a little dynamic movement here. And it brings us a little hip opening. And then as you exhale next, maybe you come in and hold for a bit. Notice your feet. We want to feel both sides of both feet. We want to feel that same strong rooting that we might feel in a standing pose like Tadasana, right? Every standing pose wants to find Tadasana. So find it in every pose and then reach out with the arms, stretching from the shoulders, and you can gaze at your right hand. Notice the shoulders. Can we soften them? Can you bring them away from the ears? And just settle here, right? Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. A pose of strength and stability. And so just maybe even close your eyes in the pose and feel the strength. Feel how strong your foundation is. Your feet on the earth, your strong legs. It's the center of your body, your center of strength, nose over navel. Can you feel settled here? Can you feel the energy, the engagement of the muscles of the legs? Where can you soften in the pose? And then on an inhalation, we're going to bring that right foot so the toes are facing forward again, arms can come up, and we're going to find that Warrior Two position, Virabhadrasana 2, to the opposite side. So the left foot will open, right foot comes in a little bit, and we can bring our hands back to our hips, resting the arms a bit. And then just kind of feel into it. As you exhale, let this left hip open, the left knee moves to the little toe side of the foot, and we'll just move with our breath a couple of times. Inhaling and lengthening, exhaling and coming into it, and really feeling the hip opening. So there's this tendency to think we're sinking, but think of staying nice and tall, upright through the spine as we allow the hip to open and the knee to bend from there. And then maybe it's the next time you come in, we'll settle here, press the feet, lift the rest of the body, and then reach. So we find that length from that strong foundation in our legs. We can gaze to that left hand, or maybe we would think out beyond the hand. It makes me think of this beautiful line from Rumi. See if I can remember it exactly. Something like, out beyond in the unknown there is a field. Beyond right and wrong there is a field. I'll meet you there. So close the eyes and let yourself settle. Maybe lift the toes to make sure we're engaging through the feet. Hug the inner thighs to feel the length, the strength, the power in our legs, in our lower body, and then the softness maybe through the shoulders, the strength of our center. The gentle strength. And then on an inhalation, bring the left foot so the toes face forward, bring the arms up, and then let's exhale from a strong center. Let your arms extend, come to a halfway lift. And then let's let the right arm come to the earth, and then just lift the left. Circle the wrist in both directions. And then as you exhale, let the left arm come down and let yourself melt into a forward fold. Connect the left palm, engage the belly, reach up with the right. And maybe circle that wrist. Maybe notice if you want to circle the head. Just good to notice where we start to create tension through our body. And then as you exhale, coming back into a forward fold here. And then let's toe heel our feet towards each other. And then you can just walk your hands right up the legs. So we come back to our Tadasana. And maybe we wiggle and move things around a little bit. In fact, let's all do that. So when we do this crazy like wiggle dance, if we jump on a trampoline, super good for our immune system, right? We can all use that right now. So if you have a tramp in your backyard that you think is just for kids, this is the time to get out and jump. The weather's nice, and the more we kind of shake things, move things, do all this kind of just bouncy movement, it's great for our lymphatic system and a great boost for our immune system. So if you can do this 30 seconds a day right now, maybe work up to 1 minute and then maybe up to 2 minutes. If you do longer, let me know. We're going to have you do a video soon. And then come back into Tadasana. And that same movement of really getting grounded, really feeling into our feet, moving from side to side, back to front, lift the toes, maybe bring hands to hips to support that grounding. We're going to play a little bit with balance. So I thought today we might do a dynamic eagle pose. If you've been in my classes, you've done this with me before. So it's a supported eagle, but we do it with movement. So we're going to ground through our left leg. That will be our standing leg. So we can begin to bring softness into the right knee. And then we can just cross the right foot over, and you can keep your toes like a kickstand, or if you want to, you can try to press that right foot into the earth as well. So the pinky toe sides of the feet are touching, and you really press into the feet and engage the legs. Feel them hug towards each other. Let the hips come to center as much as you can. And we might be wobbling a little, right? We might be wobbling a lot more these days in our balancing poses and in life. That's okay. That's why we practice them. So pressing in, really find it. Hug the inner thighs to each other, and then we're going to inhale and reach out, and we're going to exhale, letting the left arm cross over the right. So you can cross and try to come maybe palm to palm or palm to wrist, but we can also just give ourselves a hug. So what we want is to feel freedom in the chest. So you can come and maybe come into those full eagle arms, but we don't need to. So kind of do what feels good for you. I'm going to kind of bring myself a little off center. So finding that ease and then engaging, connecting to the belly. We're going to move with our breath here. So it's helpful in a balance pose to find a place to focus on, a drishti. You might choose to close your eyes. You might realize that since we're moving, the drishti feels different. So whatever feels good, we're going to move with our breath. So as we inhale, we're lifting the elbows and maybe the gaze. And as we exhale, we're rounding to ourselves. So we're moving with our breath. Right? Just let your breath guide the movement. Right? You can be moving a lot, you can be moving a little. It doesn't really matter. It's your practice. And no one is watching. The truth is no one is really watching us even when we're in a full class, right? But we just think maybe people are looking. And then find an inhalation that invites you to unwind. Begin to unwind the arms, and maybe we expand from that center point. Maybe we reach, right? Maybe a lot, maybe a little, it doesn't matter. Feel into your center, and then come back to Tadasana when you're ready. And let it go again, wiggle it all out before we do the other side. And then we find the energy of Tadasana once more. Really feeling into the feet, nice and strong. Begin to ground the right side. Breathe the right side body. Begin to soften on the left, and then we'll just cross the left over. So toes connect, or you can press the feet into the earth, pinky toe sides of the feet touching, and then hug the legs, right? Our center of strength. We build the foundation first. We wake up the belly. We can find a little more alignment maybe through the hips, and then bringing our arms into it if that's comfortable, extending, reaching, and then crossing right over left. If you want to try the full wrap, momentum might help, or we just gently hold our shoulders. Lift the toes so you can really ground through the feet, and then release the toes, and then just find that little movement with the breath. Inhaling, lifting the heart, the elbows, and exhaling, rounding to ourselves. Coming into that contraction to whatever degree feels good for your body. I love this variation of Garudasana because we call it eagle pose, but Garuda is actually a mythical bird. And in Tibetan Buddhism, it is considered magical because it never lands. It stays always in flight. And I can't speak for anyone but myself right now, but the ground feels a little shakier than usual. And I kind of feel that always in flight, right? Most of us may not just be feeling like this is just a, vacation that we received, relaxing 24/7. But if you are, that's wonderful. And again, please do a video for us to share. And then from here, find a breath that invites you to feel the grounding through that right side, to maybe reach and spread our wings, our Garuda wings from center, breathing into the edges from a strong center. So from our center, we come back into our Tadasana. And maybe we close our eyes for a moment. Maybe we bring our palms together. Maybe we breathe back into the feet, feeling our roots, our connection to the earth, noticing. Right, when we close our eyes, we can see and feel sometimes more easily that internal environment. And then we'll come down to our mats in whatever way feels most comfortable for us. And let's settle with our knees bent and just kind of settle, rock a little, feel, again, the sit bones connecting. We always want to really feel into our connection to the earth, especially in ungrounded times. So we can bring our hands below the knees, we can bring them behind the knees, we draw the shoulders back, maybe draw the toes towards us, and maybe just lift the toes. So just whatever little variation here of Navasana, boat pose. So we don't want to fall and sink into the low back. We want to keep our heart lifted. We want to feel the strengthening in our center. We can be here. We can bring shins parallel, reach the arms out. If we want to, we can find a variation of our legs extended, right? We can play wherever we are. Maybe we close the eyes and just kind of, again, breathe in the strength of our strong center, right? It supports us in our physical yoga practice, but most importantly, it supports us in our practice off the mat. And then letting our feet come back to the earth. Let's give ourselves a hug right here. As you exhale, draw the navel in, let the chin come to the chest. See where you can soften right here. As we give ourselves this hug, let it really feel comforting. Reminding ourselves that this too shall pass, and that our yoga practice, whatever it is that we do, even if we just take 3 conscious breaths a day, is supporting us on this journey. And then we'll start to just release our arms from the legs and invite ourselves to come down, to slowly come all the way down onto our mats. And to find whatever position of comfort we can here, maybe drawing the shoulders down the back. Maybe we feel better if we bend our knees or fold the knees in. Just let the body settle. In fact, let's bend the knees and just let yourself rock from side to side a little bit here with the knees. And then from here, bring the knees towards the chest, towards the body, and draw some circles here. You can hold the kneecaps gently if that feels good, and then circle the other way. And then hug the knees strongly towards the body. And then extend your left leg as you hug your right knee in and draw the right knee towards the right shoulder as you press the left foot away from you. And then release that and extend your right leg as you draw the left knee in. And maybe interlace your fingers the opposite way you just did. Press that right leg away, press through the right heel. Hug the left knee towards the shoulder. And then We'll gently release, but now just bring both knees towards the body, hugging them in, and then draw your nose to meet the knees. And for a moment, find your tiniest, smallest self. Hug everything in for a moment. Perhaps hold the next breath in. And when you're ready to let it go, open the mouth and release it with a big sigh. That. Inhaling. And as you're ready to let it go, open the mouth and just release it. And do that one more time. And then as you sigh that breath out, connect and notice in your body if there's any adjustments, anything you need to shift to allow yourself to be totally comfortable, totally at ease. Whether it's the position of the body, if it's softening the shoulders, even if you need to grab something to feel warmer, or to put gently over your eyes to bring a little more darkness there. Really let yourself settle, and then softly close the eyes. And let your awareness of the breath fade away. Feel like the body is just breathing itself. And let yourself totally relax. Totally let go. I'm going to guide you in this just progressive relaxation for the body. But if there's one pose that you take away that you practice every day, it should be Shavasana, relaxation pose. It's the only one we truly need. And so, imagining that the crown of the head relaxes and softens, and that the back of the head on the earth gently relaxes, that we can't even feel into that connection. And we relax the forehead and the space between the eyebrows. We soften the jaw and relax the top teeth from the bottom teeth. And the tongue hangs loosely in the mouth. And the ears relax. And we relax our neck. And we soften the shoulders, letting them ground heavy to the earth. And we relax the chest and soften the belly. And all the muscles of the back relax. And the arms relax. And the backs of our hands. And the palms soften and all 10 fingers relax. And our hips relax. And all the muscles of the legs. And we relax the tops of the feet and all 10 toes. From the crown of the head to the tips of the fingers and the soles of our feet. Totally relax. Totally let go. Allowing ourselves to sink into the stillness, into the peacefulness, into the support of the earth below. Thank you for allowing me to guide this practice today. May it remind us of all that we have, of all that we are, and of all that we are becoming, and of the light that shines deep within each of us, this light that connects us all. Namaste.